Hey everyone, this is Alicia and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created this grungy looking spotlight halo eye. So if you want to see how I created it, just keep on watching. First, I'm going to start by priming my eyes using the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Concealer in Deep Cool. And then I'm going to blend it out using my Real Techniques concealer brush. Once my concealer is blended out, I'm going to set it in place using my BH Cosmetics No. 3 brush from the Studded Elegance brush set and my Coty Airspun Translucent Extra Coverage Setting Powder. For this look, I'm using the Huda Beauty Nude Rich Obsessions palette, and I'm using my e.l.f. concealer brush and going into the second shade and applying this as my brow bone highlight. Now going into the first shade, I'm using an e.l.f. blending brush and I'm applying this slightly below my brow bone highlight shade, and this is going to act as my transition shade. This shade had the perfect amount of pigmentation without being overbearing, and it was very complementary to the other shades that I used for this look. Now going into the red shade in this palette, I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics No. 8 brush from the same Studded Elegance brush set and apply this above my crease. When I first swatched this palette, I knew that I really wanted to use this shade. It was really pigmented, it built up and applied beautifully, and it also blended out with any issues. Taking an e.l.f. crease brush, I'm going into the 9th shade in the palette and working this into my crease. I'm first using patting motions to deposit the shade into my crease before using small circular and windshield washer movements to blend the shade out. I wanted to add some depth to the crease, so I went in with my Daler and Rowney No. 2 brush and deposited a small line of the shade Night Market from the Suva Beauty Neutral Necessity palette. I didn't want to add too much black because I didn't want it to overpowering this look. Filming this look the first time, I made the mistake of just using a black instead of that deep chocolate shade, and it made the whole look go left. I'm just going back in with my crease brush to blend those two shades together. Afterwards, I'm just going to go back in with my No. 8 brush and some more of that red shade to blend out any of the harsh edges I created when I added my crease color. Of course, you know I had to go back in and add some more brow bone highlight afterwards. Now I'm going back in with some more concealer, and I'm using my Royal and Langnickel No. 6 brush to carve out my lid. I wanted to do minimal editing when carving out my lid, that way you can see beginning to end. I did speed it up a bit because it does take a little while for you to carve out your lid and have it as precise as you want it. Just take your time, breathe, it's nothing to rush. Once I've coated my lid in concealer, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush to blend it out. I'm patting it down to slightly dry my base. Using the fluffy side of my Morphe M156 brush, I'm going into the 4th shade of the palette and applying that directly into the center of my lid. Then I turn the brush over to the other side and apply the 3rd shade in the palette on the outer edges of that first shade that I put down. But I'm going to make sure that I keep a bit of a blank space on the outer and inner parts of my lid so that I can go in with my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush to apply the last shade in the palette. I'm then going to alternate between every color and slightly overlap them so that there aren't any harsh lines, so that I have a really seamless gradient. As you can see, I'm also starting to take the shimmer shade slightly higher up past my crease, and that's because I wanted to really stand out when you see this look, and that even so when my eyes are open, you still see the shimmers peeking through. Remember that when you add more shades, you need to touch up any other previous shades so that you keep your gradient intact. It's always going to be a back and forth motion, alternating between brushes and just going back and making sure that everything is well blended together. It's all a process, it takes time, so just be patient. Using the other side of that Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush, I'm using a bit of the NYX Cosmetics Glitter Primer and applying that to the shimmer shades in the center of my lid before I added a bit of the NYX Cosmetics Red Loose Glitter on top. Make sure after this step you go in with the smaller side of the Morphe M156 brush and a bit more of that chocolate shade to help blend that into the shimmers. I'm coating my lashes using the Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara before I apply the Rebel Access Tiny Lashes. Of course, be sure to check the description box to use my discount code to save you money on your purchase if you decide to order lashes. I don't make any money from you using my code, it is just to save you some money. Also, ignore the lash glue, it dries down invisible, so just pay no mind to that for now. By the time I come back from doing my base, it'll be completely dry. Now that the rest of my face is done, I'm lining my waterline using the Esqido Black Gel Eyeliner. This is my first time using it, and I like how pigmented it was. This liner was sent to me, and it's really freaking cool how it has a built-in sharpener at the end of it. I just thought that was really innovative. I'm taking my e.l.f. smudge brush and smudging the same shade that I use in my crease as close to my waterline as possible. Make sure that you also drag it down towards your outer V and make it connect. I also went back in with my number 8 brush in that red shade as well as blending brush and my transition shade to help smoke out my lower lash line. Afterwards, I went back in and coated my lower lashes in mascara. Last but not least, I sprayed my e.l.f. concealer brush with the Smashbox primer water and went back in with that shade I used for my brow bone highlight, and this is going to act as my inner corner highlight. And of course, that completes the look. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to share it, like it, comment, subscribe to my channel, as well as turn on your notifications. And I hope to see you around soon. Bye.